So now on my community page, this person says, have you potty trained? If yes, how did you go about it? As I am currently on that journey and it can be frustrating. What I would tell this person, first of all, potty training, don't just potty train in vain. Potty training is hard, but don't just waste your time potty training on a journey that is not really going to that's going to be so stressful for you. I believe that you need to check some things if you're potty training. One thing you need to check is that that child is able to communicate, and by communicate I mean that that child is able to speak to you or is able to understand what you are saying. So if your child is able to speak to you, understand them, there's a chance of potty training. So if your child is not able to do any of these things, you may just be wasting your time. So I would say that if your child is able to do one of these two things, then you can start trying to potty train. And my own experience with potty training, yes, Abigail is potty trained, but she did not start potty training until she was about, it was one time we started potty training, I can't remember how old, probably she was about 2 years or thereabouts. We tried to potty train her and it didn't work because she wasn't ready for potty training. She wasn't communicating, she wasn't talking, she wasn't nothing. So I had to just stop trying, and then I started when I believed she was ready to be potty trained. Yeah, so how we potty trained? Abigail was ready to potty train. I knew she was ready to potty train when she started little by little, started trying to communicate in certain ways. I knew she understood me, but it felt like she was being stubborn to listen to me. You know how you call them and they don't answer? So to me, I felt it was like selective hearing. Yeah, that's what I would call it. I would call it selective hearing, because now that she's grown, bigger than then, she does it sometimes. When I call her Abigail, she doesn't answer. Abigail, I say, where's my kid? Immediately I say it, she'll come, or she'll hear, or she thinks I want to smack her or something. She'll quickly do what I want her to do. But you can call her 10 times, she will not answer you. So yeah, I believe a lot of it is selective hearing. So she hears me, but she doesn't want to respond to me. But now I make sure that she is, I made sure that she understood what I was saying. And yeah, she actually understood me. When I tell her to pee, I even downloaded, yeah, screen time is terrible, screen time is dangerous, but like I say, you can use it to your advantage. If you're already doing it, you can just try and use it for your advantage. I downloaded two programs for her. One was I think it's Princess Polly's Potty, and another one is Pirate Pits. So both of them talks about a young girl who went to buy a fancy potty and pooed and peed in the potty. And what I like about it is that they actually show it, so she knows it. She might not really consider it when she's watching it, but when the time comes, you know, she's able to process it, you know, and tell that, oh, this is what is happening. So I tried. You might sit on the potty for her for about 30 minutes waiting for her to pee, and she won't. You sing all sorts of songs. When you get the party feeling, way down low, just stop what you're doing and go, go, go. Sing all the potty songs, you know. She will not pee, she will not poo. The moment you just dress her back up and, you know, go to do something, you just see that she has gone to one corner of the house to pee. You know, I always scold her and tell her, why did you do that? I show her, what is this? It's wee-wee. Why did you do that? This is naughty. And she knows what I'm saying, even though she may not respond to me, but she 100% understands what I'm saying. So as she can see me frowning, it's very important for your kids to know emotions. Teach them about emotions. Teach them, especially if your child is showing signs of ADHD and autism, just teach them about emotions. Even smileys are good. Smileys are good. Happy face, sad face, surprise face. I feel like it helped a lot. I'm not talking as a therapist, I've told you guys. I'm just saying from my own experience. I feel like it was very helpful for me that my child knew what my angry face was and my happy face was, so she was able to tell, because they tend to be blank but when you teach her happy face, sad face, it seems like fun, but when the time comes to use it, you're able to use it to your own advantage. So she can see that mommy is angry when she pees on the floor. Mommy is angry. So it felt like she wanted to help, but she couldn't really help. And so one day we went out. I noticed she doesn't pee in the car. Even if you're on a journey for 2 hours, she won't pee in the car, but the moment the car stops, she will pee. So we went out one day and came back, and I took her to the toilet. I showed her myself in using the toilet. I said, mommy's doing a wee-wee. She was just looking at me, concentrating on me. I said, mommy is doing a wee-wee, you see? Immediately I finished, I just put her on her potty. I said, Abigail, do a wee-wee. Immediately, she just peed in the potty. I said, okay. For the first time, she peed in the potty at the right time. You cannot, I cannot express the kind of joy I felt. But after that, I knew I had made great progress. So subsequently, it wasn't difficult for me to show her how to do it. Once in a while, she'll still try and do it on herself, and I'll scold her. But now, where we are right now, it's not something she can try. For her to try it now, in fact, she can't try it now to pee on herself. She can't try it now. She can't. She's too grown for that. So yeah, potty training. Don't just waste your time potty training in vain. Potty training is hard. So make sure that if you're doing it at the right time when your child is able to communicate with you. Did your daughter do the following: spinning around, hand flapping, vocal steaming, or making continuous sound? How long did it take for the transition? How did you establish eye contact? Spinning around, yeah, she did spinning around very well. She did spin around a lot of times very well. But then, as at the time, I didn't even see it as anything. Hand flapping, no. Vocal steaming, making continuous sound, she still does that till now. Singing, actually, not really any awkward sound, but just singing. She's always singing. So what I try to do to control it is engage her in physical activity. She sings a lot, and it's mostly when she's bored, when she's just moving around. I feel like singing is a kind of steaming, of course, vocal steaming. So she's just trying to look for ways to pass out her energy. There's just so much energy in her, and she just sings, or she's jumping on the bed, or she's doing whatever. I just engage her in physical activity because I don't really want it to be a part of her character that she's singing without control. Even when her baby sister is sleeping, she sings and wakes her up. So I'm just trying to make sure that my child is always engaged, which is very important. Even if your child is not even for a typical child, it's good to just make sure the child is physically engaged. Teach her colors, paint. She can paint, she can draw, she knows how to draw. She draws happy face, sad face, surprise face. She knows how to draw them. She also knows how to write now. At the time I made my last video, I mentioned that she couldn't write, but now she's writing very well. It's just that they're too big, but we're still working on that. So yeah. How long did it take for the transition? When I was at my lowest points, at the point when I realized that something was wrong, she was 2 years and 4 months. She was almost becoming non-verbal, honestly. She was 2 years and 4 months. And I remember when I talked to one mother whose son showed exactly all the signs, and she started seeing therapists and everything, and the child was doing really well. I remember going back to tell her that Abigail was doing better. I needed somebody to pour out my joy to. So I went back to her message and just talked to her, and that was about 2 years and 8 months. So it just took about 4 months. So if you're putting in the work, it's possible. And I'm not saying that it will work for everybody, but it is possible that if you're putting in the work, you don't even need up to a year. In about 5 months after I sent that message, I sent a post actually to a big page on Instagram. It's called Wives and Mothers. It's like a page where women with like minds come together and just talk about their problem, and other people comment on their wives and mothers. You can check them out on Instagram. So I posted my problem there, and people talked about it. Some people said it was nothing, she'll get over it. Some people said it was something. Some people say you worry too much, all sort of stuff. But it was from there I was able to see some. I was able to get some numbers to call and some therapists to talk to, and eventually we didn't use any therapists officially, but then we did make progress from there. And that was when she was 2 years and 4 months. And as at when she was 2 years and 8 months, 9 months, she was wow. She was good. She was very good. So yeah. How long did you establish eye contact? Eye contact was so rare before. For you to get her attention, get her to look into your eyes. Oh my God, it was really difficult. It was really difficult, but I don't know, but as at the time when I'm telling you 2 years and 8 months, 9 months, she was, I believe eye contact was good. I can't really say the particular time that we were able to establish eye contact. So, but for anybody battling with this problem, one thing that I have to do is try to make it easier for the child. If you are talking to your child, you know you're taller than your child now, don't stand up and talk to them. Try to bend down to a lower level to talk to them. Try to talk the way I mentioned to you. Try to raise your voice high and low. Why did you do that? You know, don't just say, why did you do that? Don't just say, come, let's go outside. Say, come, let's go outside. Up to now, funny enough, we still talk like that. If she wants to go outside, she'll say, I want to go outside. We make it fun. We make talking fun. And she has realized that talking gets her what she needs. So she's interested in it. So instead of you to just talk in a flat tone, try and take your voice high pitch, low pitch, high pitch, low pitch. It's more fun for her that way. Somebody says, hello, I have same questions. How did you get her to eat if she had sensory issues with food? No, she didn't have any sensory issues with food. Good questions. I hope you address all of them, Tochi. Can I just say you're very articulate in your thoughts? Thank you very much. Is your daughter going to school, mainstream or special education? Actually, I don't even have any special education school around me that I know of. And if we had to go there, then I probably won't be living here, because I don't think there's anyone here that is even good enough. But in my mind, even if I had one around, I felt like special education, I didn't want her to mix up with more autistic children so that she won't become more autistic than I could already see, if that makes any sense. She goes to a mainstream school. She's always gone to a mainstream school. She's still in the same school, even at the point where I was feeling like her teacher wasn't doing good enough. I wanted to change her, but I didn't need her to feel any change in her life. I didn't want to change any routine. Not like she was so bad accepting change of routines, but of course she's kind of bad at that. But I just didn't want that. I didn't want another school to start telling me any rubbish. I just wanted her to get used to that one, and I think she's doing pretty well in the school she is. But yeah, it's a mainstream school. She never went to any special school.